What's up guys, it is the Speed Demon and today I have a Forza Motorsport 5 gameplay slash series that I will be making. It's pretty much a how to drift tutorial, but it'll be into a series, I'd probably say 2 or 3 parts, and I'm pretty much going to tell you in depth of how to drift in Forza, because I believe most drift tutorials on the internet are not very explainable. They don't actually tell you how to drift, as in controller wise of what you're going to press when you initiate the corners. So I'm just going to teach you in this series of how to drift, and hopefully you'll get something sounding like this. Okay, so for this drift build we'll be using the 240SX, and this is a Nissan car. Now this is not the only car I recommend. I also recommend there is a Subaru car that I would recommend, the Subaru BRZ, as well as the Toyota GT86. So I have made drift builds with both of these cars, but for this we'll be using the 240SX. So I've already bought one, gone ahead, tested it out for this tutorial, so we're just going to get straight into the customization. So don't worry about the engine, the braking, the drivetrain, and the rims and the aero. Nothing, you don't need to worry about that so far. If you really want to, you can change your rims. You can change your bumpers and stuff like that, and your side skirts and your rear bumper. It doesn't affect the car at all, so it doesn't really matter. It's just all personal preference with your aero and your tyres and rims. But except for tyres, I'll be showing you later on when we get into more customization after we hit it at the track about the tyres. But so far we want to go conversion, we want to go engine swap. Now the thing I like about the 240SX is there is plenty engines to choose from. They're both great engines. So this is the 4-rotor racing. We'll be using this when we get more advanced into drifting, but since this is the tutorial part 1 of how to just initiate the drift, we'll be using the V8. So go ahead and get the V8 and install that in. Drivetrain. Now, right now, this is rear wheel drive, so I wouldn't recommend this for beginners. I'll be using all-wheel drive. It is very controllable and very easy to use once you get the hang of it. I still use this in my builds today, even though I'm more advanced intermediate into drifting. So go ahead and install the all-wheel drive. Aspiration. I would either use twin turbo or single, but considering this is my build, I'll be using twin. But since this is your build that you're watching this tutorial, you can either use twin or single, but I am going to use twin. Those are just the turbos I recommend. So yeah, we're just going to hit the track now, and I will tell you really how to initiate the drift. So we're gonna go test drive. I would say the best map to start out is the Bernese Alps. Now assistant difficulty, this is where it gets confusing. So I'll tell you what settings to put down. So with your drive line, I would put it to full. ABS, you want that on for braking. Steering, simulation, traction control, you want this completely off, because this is the most key part of drifting. You want this off, otherwise you won't be able to initiate the slide. Shifting, most players are usually using automatic in Forza, which this place you're going to learn how to use manual if you don't know how to use manual already, if you don't drive a car in real life. So for this, since you are just beginning, use manual, and for shifting, and for damage, fuel and tyre wear, cosmetic. And if you got it right, I'll give you a minute to copy down all of these things. You can just pause the video. Alright, so now that you got those down, you want to accept that. now you want to go to the first track in the Bernese Alps, and I'll see you guys. Alright, so we're on the track. Now, the one thing I have to teach you about manual is when you are going to change the gears, see the bottom right, how there's a white line, and it's getting closer to the red, which will be on the top right of the bottom. When the white line, see how it is now, when it gets close to red, you want to press B, and that will make you go up a gear. And when you're braking, the most importantly here, you want to hold down the brake and just keep pressing X down. And if you are still on a too high of a gear, it'll be very low RPMs and it will sound very low, so you want to go down a gear, and then you'll get more of a rev, so that means you're in the right gear. So just practice that, and since you have no traction, it will swerve you off a bit. So yeah, just keep practicing that around the track. So yeah, just practice that, and come back, pause the video, come back when you've had a bit of a practice and you're used to no traction. Alright, so now that you've paused the video and had a bit of a try, hopefully now that you're used to the manual gears, now I'm going to show you, see how the drive line is yellow up ahead. Now with a curve, when you're going at a high speed, you want to hold A to initiate the handbrake, like that, where the yellow parts are, and then it will swerve you out, but hopefully you've learned how to control the traction and your gears. So I'm just going to go ahead around the corner now, and I want you to try, but not going down the gear, but just handbraking the yellow parts around the corner. Like at the curve, even if it's not yellow, you want to hold down A. So pretty much at the curve, you'll want to handbrake, even though it's not yellow right now, but you'll just want to handbrake. So come back and try. So come back once you've tried that and had a bit of play with the handbrake. Okay, so now that you used the handbrake, we want to initiate the downshift. So you have your curve, and then you want to press X to go down, and you'll initiate into a slide. And now it's just like turning a corner, but you'll want to oversteer and just have a bit of a go at doing that, just shifting it around. And don't worry, you will spin out like that, so just have a go. So now everything that we've learned, we're going to put it into one and I'll explain it very quickly. So yes, your white line is touching the red, that's when you usually want to press B to go up a gear, and my drive line is currently blue, so that means I'll accelerate. Now I want to slow down a bit here, and here's the curve, hold A, press X to go down, and just let the car slide. But usually if it slides like that, it's just you haven't had enough speed. So again, I'll initiate it, hold A, press X to go down, just keep turning it like you'll turn a normal car, and just keep going. And then as soon as you're done, you drift, just go up a gear. So you want to keep an eye on your gear. So yeah, just come back and try that. And that concludes our first part of the build. So go back and try all these things I've told you with the yellow line, and then you press A on the yellow line / the curve. Even if the line's not yellow and it's a curve, still handbrake. Then press X to go down a gear when you initiate the slide from the handbrake, and just press B to go up a gear after you finish your drift. So just keep practicing, and then hopefully by the time you've mastered drifting, I'll have another video up for you guys to watch part 2, and that's when we'll get into more customizing the engine and learning to handle more faster speeds. So yeah, thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you in part 2.